Today, I'd actually like to give a bit of space to your breathing. Believe it or not, breath can really stimulate your stress levels or your sense of calm. And we're going to tap into that a little bit today. It is Jess, your life and transition coach through your inner vitality. And let's start with a breath, shall we? Depending on how you use your breath, it could be a tool and it can also be a weapon. So awareness is really important when it comes to your breath. And today I'd like for you to actually focus on awareness of your breath. When do you have your shallow breathing or experience shallow breathing? And when do you not? And you have nice, deep, full breaths? Or do you have a hard time actually taking in that nice, deep, full breath? The reason that this is important is it really stimulates our nervous system. And our nervous system has three main parts. However, we're going to discuss two of them today. It's your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. These are kind of the best way I can do it is like driving a car in some ways. You've got your gas and you've got your brake. So your gas is your sympathetic nervous system. So when you push the gas, your sympathetic nervous system's in place. That is the fight or flight mode where, protect yourself from danger, keep you from harm. And then when you go to push the brake, that's your parasympathetic nervous system. That is your rest and digest, your sense of calm. This would be the time when you may be sleeping or you feel at peace, not as stressed out per se. Now, when those things are out of whack, if you're driving a car, you could very well find yourself in an accident if you're not careful. And we know the dangers of stress and what they can do to us. In fact, you may have experienced that yourself. I can tell you I have. I've experienced breakdown before I've been able to break through, and that's when my complete nervous system was out of whack. Disclaimer, this could be a great conversation for you to have with your doctor or naturopath. They may be able to provide you some really great insights on how to be able to get yourself out of that burnout or, where your adrenals may be out of whack for that. However, I'm sure that is a whole new call, and I will make sure that I get some support for you guys on that as well. However, today though, we're going to really still go back to that breath focus. When your breath is shallow, short breathing, where you're not bringing that breath down into the diaphragm, fully into the lungs, it's kind of like where it just sits here in the collarbone, that is where you're activating the sympathetic nervous system. So you may not even realize it when you're having short breath that it's activating that fight or flight mode for you. When you have that deep drawn in breath right down into that belly of yours, that's when you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system, where your body allows itself to actually digest the food that you're eating and allow you to actually have rest and recuperation. Now, you can see how if we're not aware of what our breath is doing, how this could really control what our body starts to respond with. When and if you stay in the sympathetic nervous system for too long, you can really, it's almost like burning out the engine in the car, right? You do need to have that rest and recuperation in order to be able to sustain those spurts of your sympathetic nervous system. It's not meant to be turned on all the time. So, in explaining a bit of those different types of your nervous system, today what I'd love for you to do is to go out and pay attention to how you breathe and what causes you to go into shallow breathing and what allows you to have that deep open breath. You may be amazed. When I started being more conscious of this and taking, mental note of what I was doing and where and when I'm actually on technology, on my computer throughout the day, checking my phone, going through social media, I actually find myself in shallow breathing. And that's very interesting because when I'm getting off of those devices, there is a level of stress that I do feel. And so with me being very conscious of that now, I actually will take mental breaks of like, okay, take in some deep breaths. So when you're finding those moments of shallow breathing, I want you to be conscious of, is it necessary to be in that situation or that environment? Is there something I can control to or put in place to help where I don't put myself into that shallow breathing? Or is there something else that I need to put in place to help when it comes to, like, I can't remove maybe that stimulus, like I need my technology, especially right now. So what can I put in place to help make sure that I'm reminded to breathe? Now, meditation is awesome. I know it's not for all of us. And some of us who are on the go, it's not like you can stop your Zoom call and say, hold on a second, I just need to do a 5-minute meditation. I get it, it's not always realistic. But what you can do, even in the moment as a Zoom call could be happening, is actually taking in three conscious deep breaths. Just a nice deep breath. They don't even have to be loud breaths. As long as you are taking in conscious deep breaths, it will help to reset the system. You do those deep breaths long enough in a situation, you will naturally start to feel more relaxed. Okay, so I know it seems crazy. I'll show you a little bit about what it is so that you have a feeling, just in case you're not too sure. So I'm on a call with you right now, and then I notice that my breathing is being shallow, or that I'm not really paying attention to that breathing. So here's how you can do it. Already, I feel a lot calmer just by those 3 deep breaths. Whether you do it through your mouth or not, it really doesn't matter as long as you're being conscious. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth does really help with the process, but if you find it's not appropriate with the company that you're in, then just be conscious of how you're breathing. It can make all the difference when it comes to your world of stress. Try it out. Let me know what you think. You know, it's all about the tiny details that can start making the big difference. So make a ripple in the right direction to help you stop the waves coming in. It's Jess, your life and transition coach through your inner vitality. It is your time.